Hey guys, it's Alex, and today I wanted to make a quick video. Well, not so quick. I like to make about 9 to 10 minute videos. Today I'm going to try to explain what you see on the N-Gauge and what to pay attention to and what really not to freak out about. So let's start looking at a couple of signals real quick. This is my 2019 Mustang. It's on E85 currently. So let's look at a couple of things that I like to monitor so that I know that the car's healthy. Now, a lot of you guys literally do not ever need to see this information. All you need to do is put the tune in the car and shove this sucker in your glove box, never to be seen again. But a lot of you guys really want to see something right away, and then for whatever reason you want to, critique the tune based on data that you really don't understand. So first of all, I can tell you one signal is wrong right now. Can you guys pick it out? Can you guys pick out which signal is absolutely wrong based on the fuel that I have in the car? Well, I would say this guy, okay? Because that one kind of doesn't make any sense anymore. What do you mean, Alex? Well, this is the guy that makes sense. Lambda. A lot of the wannabe smart guys say lambda. We're in America, so it's lambda. So lambda is what basically you can use across all fuels. You can use this on pump gas. You can use this on, C16, methanol, whatever. Lambda is kind of like the universal version of, air fuel. So when we run these guys at wide open throttle and you see 0.85 lambda, I'm going to show you what happens when AFR is shown. And this is what you guys go by. You guys freak the hell out because you go by AFR. So let's go real quick and go wide open throttle and see when this guy is at 0.85 lambda. We'll see what this guy says when it comes to AFR. Okay, what you'll notice is this. The AFR tends to be jumpy. Now I'm steady state, chilling, steady state. And look at what happens when I let off the gas. Oh, it's lean. Oh my God, car's gonna blow up. It's not lean. The car has engine braking capabilities, meaning when you let off the throttle, the injectors shut off. Yes, there's a way of taking care of that, but honestly, I don't like to touch that function because if you let off the gas, the car will slow down without you having to basically downshift or anything, so it helps you. So if you're at the cusp, okay, meaning right at the edge of cruising where the car can enter coasting fuel shut off, you'll see that signal jump around and make it seem like it's really bad. So I'm gonna barely get into the gas. I'll barely get into the gas. 14.7, 14.1. Okay, now this is third gear. I'm gonna floor it. Oh, 12.2, 12.1. This thing is rich. Alex, I went wide open throttle and this thing is rich. What's going on? Fix my shit. It's not really that rich. Did you see what lambda said? Oh, it's lean right now. Okay, so now let me downshift a second, high RPM, go wide open throttle, and show you what the gauge does. Okay, so what you're seeing there is some fuel enrichment, because I was just staring at lambda the whole time. You're seeing fuel enrichment, then you're gonna see commanded wide open throttle fueling take place. So when you first tip into the gas, the car's gonna run slightly richer because it's no different than squirters on a carburetor. You want the car not to stumble on acceleration. You want it to be smooth acceleration. So momentarily you end up seeing a rich value, but then it comes right back. Let's do that again. I might be able to get the RPMs in the same sweep, but not so much. You'll see it'll go to like 0.81 lambda on the hit. There it is, and it comes back up to 0.85 at high RPM. That's what we're commanding, and that's usually where the car likes to live. So what we do is we make sure that the car is happiest at wide open throttle while still having some tip-in fueling characteristics going on so that you don't feel a stumble at wide open throttle. But did you pay attention to AFR? AFR, if you were one of those guys that says 12.5 has to be perfect at what? Well, not necessarily. Now, did you see knock? How knock was negative the whole time? I'm going to show you what that means when it comes to what the spark shows and what the knock shows. Okay, now let's pay attention to the knock, spark, retard, knock control, spark, retard. I think that's what Ford calls it. And spark. This is total timing. Okay, at idle, the car tends to, I think, idle at 12 or so, depending on throttle angle. Yeah, look at that. Making me look good. Ooh, somebody just went wide open throttle. Are they going to chase them down? It looks like they're chasing each other. Anyway, so when you're cruising, you don't want timing. People say my timing's a little too high under cruise conditions. Well, yeah, Ford runs it high to get good fuel mileage. That's the thing. If you run it too low, this engine's going to run hot as fuck and you're not going to get good fuel mileage at all. So let me just put it in 6th gear. I'm cruising at 60 mile an hour and look at that. You're seeing high 30s and low 40s for spark. Well, why is that? Well, trust me, plain and simply, high spark under low load conditions, the car just runs really happy. And at the end of the day, it gets better gas mileage. If you're one of those guys that just globally, across the board, sets all spark capped at like 19, the car's gonna get awful gas mileage. It's not gonna run, it's gonna run hot, okay? We don't touch this area of the tune. We basically leave it alone. Now, what's on the top left? That's air charge temperature. Air charge temperature is temperature measured at the cold air, at the mass airflow sensor. Ambient air temperature, AAT, is how hot it is outside. So yes, there is about a 9-degree rise in temperature between the outside air and by the time it goes into the cold air. This is a stock cold air, guys. So imagine what happens if you have an open air element in this guy. That's right, even hotter IATs, no matter what the ambient air temperature is. That's what I tell people all the time. I go, look, if you're gonna get a cold air, you're gonna have higher IAT, period. Now, what threshold does it, where's the threshold where more flow overcomes IAT? At the end of the day, I want lower IAT, period. Now, a lot of you guys think I'm co-signing on certain cold air intakes because of that, but I'm not. All I'm saying is use your head. If you have low IAT, the car will run happiest. Now, let me go 3rd gear. 3rd gear, 44,000 RPM, 60 mile an hour. I'm gonna floor it, and you'll see what knock and spark do. Knock going negative means spark goes up. That spark is happy. So I raised the cap for spark from 29 to 31. It might even see 31 and a half at its peak. Now, why am I doing this? Well, I live on E85. I test my E85 all of the time. Now, there's an easy way that I'm going to show you how to know if your E85 is good quality or if it's under the E85 threshold. But again, when knock goes negative, that means timing is added. I rarely see knock go positive on E85, if ever. But I really don't pay that much attention because I know I'm on E85. I just kind of leave it alone and ride out. Again, you'll see knock goes down, spark goes up, and it stays negative. That means it's super happy. Now, short-term fuel trim bank 1, short-term fuel trim bank 2. I don't care about these guys. Bank 1 is passenger side, bank 2 is driver side. So this is fueling that is constantly trimming. It's putting it in, taking it out, putting it in, taking it out constantly. And if I oscillate the gas, you will think the car is all fucked up, right? But at steady state, chilling. So at steady state, you know how I know the car has good quality E85? It's not trimming a lot of fuel in or out. It's literally within 2%, which is tighter than factory spec. If it wasn't good E85, meaning E80 or E70 or E69, it would be rich, meaning it would be pulling fuel out. If it was E100, it would be adding fuel in because it is lean. That's how the short trim fuel tins work, and it's a cheap, easy way of testing what's in there. So now this also, okay, before I go too crazy, if you're tuned for E85, meaning the proper stoic, which is 9.89 or 9.85, depending on who tunes you, and the trims are not pulling or adding, then that means that quality of E85 in your tank is pretty good. I always urge you to test it anyway. I urge you guys that you make sure that you get a tester, get a little quick fuel kit, and test it, and that will make life easier. Now, let's go. Let me let off. See, coasting fuel shut off means it shuts off the injectors, then it turns them back on under a certain mile an hour. So let me come to a, see if I can come to a stop. No, I can't come to a stop here. But let's talk about wide open throttle short-term fuel trims. Now, MAF curves are very important. What's a MAF curve? Well, it's how you dial in fueling on any aftermarket cold air. This has a stock cold air. So I am using Ford's data. So if this is off at any point, it's basically Ford's data, and the quality of ethanol that's in there. At wide open throttle, you want to be 3-4% plus minus. I prefer you be minus, slightly on the richer side, as opposed to on the leaner side. So let's go wide open throttle and see what kind of short-term fuel churns we're dealing with. Party time. So it's a little rich, like 7%. Yeah, they're a little on the rich side. Now, what does that mean to me? That means to me that potentially the ethanol that's in the tank at wide open throttle, it's trimming fuel out, so it's probably E70 something, or the Ford data is slightly off. Now, Ford data can be off about 5 to 7% depending on, even on a stock tune, I've seen it be off that much, because at steady state, you see how beautiful it is. I am not on the gas that much. Now, if you lug the car, this short-term fuel trim is only going to really sample that area of the MAF, not necessarily the load of the vehicle. So there it is. So boom, bogging. So now when I want you guys to do a wide open throttle pull on a supercharged car, we always tell you, hey, put it in third gear. Let's do that. And start the pull at 3,000 RPMs. Why is that? Because I want you to lug it a little bit so that it samples the MAF data at the lower RPMs all the way through the higher RPMs. And then based on the short-term fuel trims, we can adjust it, histogram it, and adjust it and party. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to lug it in third. And this is what I'll be seeing in the data log, basically. I got to pull some out, blah, blah, blah. I'll run it through the histogram. It's a little richer up top, so I'm going to go ahead and do this. And then boom, let off. And then stop the data log and boom, and send it in, and we can adjust your MAF curve so that when the next time you get the tune back, that area is tighter. See, I'm off the gas totally, guys. I'm totally off the gas, coasting. And it is, you guys would look at this and say, oh, fuck, it's rich. Jesus Christ, Alex, it's rich. Then I put it back in gear, coasting fuel shut off, steady state, and it's back to being happy. So do not stress this information. We know what's happening with the vehicle and with the calibration. A lot of people look at this information and go into absolute freak out mode. They go, oh my God, car's too rich, it's fucked up, it's 12-to-1 air fuel ratio, it's pulling timing out, it's going lean when I let off the throttle. You freak the fuck out. 9 times out of 10, if you have a basic bitch combination, take this gauge, data log with it, and after you're done, put the bitch in the glove compartment box and only bring it out if you feel something is off with the vehicle. Nice and simple. We'll keep it there. It's a nice little teaching moment for you guys that don't understand what all is happening in the tune, because you really don't need to understand what all is happening in the tune. You see that little Dodge up front? I'm gonna see if I can race him. Fuck it. Talk to you guys later.